Hey guys, so thanks to this pandemic, I was able to stay in Mysore in the south of India for a whole year. This is actually the longest I've lived anywhere in the past 10 years. If you're not familiar with Mysore, this is a city that is very popular for yoga in India. So I really enjoyed my stay in Mysore. But after a whole year living in Mysore, I decided that it was time to make a move. I needed to get out of my comfort zone. I was missing the ocean and I heard that it's possible to surf in a beach called Varkala in Kerala. I actually heard mixed opinions about it. Some people will say that it's possible to surf in Varkala, other people will say that it's not possible to surf. So I knew that the only way to find out if it was possible to surf was to go there and see it with my own eyes. So that's what I decided to do. But then I also thought, why not getting there by motorcycle? In January, I had a short road trip with a friend from Mysore to Wayanad. That was only 3 hours ride. But that was enough to awaken my adventurous spirit and my old dreams of traveling in India in a motorcycle. So I decided to stop practicing with my Ashtanga yoga teacher in Mysore. I stopped my online classes and I rented a beautiful Royal Enfield. This is an iconic motorcycle built in India. But I was not very happy to stop my online classes. I had just started teaching in December 2020 and I was really enjoying my classes. But after a whole year living in Mysore, I really needed to do this trip.
Back, knee down, hold, right back, plank.
So I looked at the map and I chose a route that I thought would be convenient, but I didn't imagine that it would be so beautiful. From Mysore first I would go to Ooty, then from Ooty to Munnar, from Munnar to Cochin, and then from Cochin finally to Varkala. I wanted to reach Varkala as soon as possible because I wanted to make sure that I get some waves before the end of the season. So I planned to stay just one night in each stop. To be honest, I was a bit intimidated to do this trip. This was my first time doing a road trip on my own, and this was also my first time riding a big and heavy bike like the Royal Enfield. But I was also a bit nervous to drive a motorcycle. I had learned to drive a motorcycle in 2014, right here in India. In the first week, I was already doing road trips with a friend, and a few months later, we did a 1,000 kilometers road trip in Cambodia. That was one of the best experiences in my life. But the next year, when I came back to Mysore, I had a small accident when driving the motorcycle. For a moment, I thought I broke my hips, my arm and my shoulder. I couldn't move, I couldn't get up from the ground. But after a few minutes, with the help of the locals, I was able to stand and walk. So I didn't have any broken bones, but I didn't feel comfortable to ride a motorcycle anymore. So to do this road trip, I had to once more face my fears. The ride from Mysore to Ooty was amazing. As soon as I reached the highway, I started to feel that sense of freedom and adventure. Little by little, I started to become more and more present, and my mind became quiet. But I did face some challenges along the way. The first challenge was just to get the bike out of the garage. This was my first time handling a big and heavy bike like the Royal Enfield, so I was afraid to drop it when I was moving it out of the garage. The second challenge was to put the bike on the center stand so that I could pack my bags properly. The third challenge was actually to find a way to fix my two backpacks on the motorcycle. And I think I did a decent job packing my bags. But on the way to Ooty, when I was traversing a sandy road, I almost lost my bags. I was very lucky that I noticed it on time. And then when I was arriving to Ooty, when I was reaching the guest house, just when I was gonna park the motorcycle, I almost dropped the bike when entering the garage because there was a big slope and I had to make a turn at the end and I almost lost my balance there. I had to ask the guest house manager to show me how he does it so that I will be prepared the next day when I had to leave. The room was so nice that I decided to stay one more night to make good use of the room. Imagine practicing yoga meditation with that view in that space. It was priceless for me. Next morning at 6:30 a.m. I left to Munnar. This was the longest and most beautiful ride I've had so far. It is basically the highlight of my trip. Riding through the Annamalai Tiger Reserve was wonderful. But the views when reaching Munnar and when riding through the tea plantations, that was mesmerizing. It took me about 11 hours to reach Munnar. And you know, when you drive this long, this far, it becomes a form of meditation because you have to be so focused the whole time. But imagine this, after driving 240 kilometers from Ooty to Munnar without any issues at all, in the last 100 meters, just when I was reaching the homestay, I dropped the motorcycle. The problem was that the downhill path leading to the homestay was very narrow and steep, and I was actually doing a really good job, but I missed the last turn. And when I have to turn the bike around to take that last turn, I lost my balance and I dropped the motorcycle on the slope. Then the homestay manager came to help me. He took the motorcycle and he rode the motorcycle down for me. He did it effortlessly and pretty fast, I think. I know in the camera it doesn't look very steep, but believe me, when you're sitting in the motorcycle riding downhill, it looks really steep. Oh, he goes so fast. So this became my challenge for the next day. I found Munnar so beautiful, so I decided that I wanted to explore the area the next day. But that meant that I needed to do that steep uphill ride and downhill ride one more time. So I prepared myself mentally for this in the evening. I've dropped the bike right over there. You see that slope there? Now I want to go out and explore a little bit Munnar, so I have to drive all the way up to the main road. It's a little bit tricky, but yeah, we have to do it. Let's see if it works. So that was exciting. I was really worried that I was gonna drop the bike, but the real challenge is when I have to go back down again. So let's see how that goes. And now let's go explore a little bit of Munnar. Mattupatti? Mattupatti. Thank you. Mattupatti. This way. Mattupatti. After overcoming that first challenge, I rode to the Mattupatti Dam, which is one of the most popular attractions near Munnar. I found the place so beautiful, so I spent almost the whole day there. I spent my day sitting quietly in meditation and also walking through the beautiful tea plantations. later on, when I had to return to the homestay, I had to face the biggest challenge of the day. I had to do the downhill ride one more time. All right, so now I'm supposed to go all the way down, all the way to my guest house. And okay, this is the challenging part. I hope I can make it. I think I'm gonna call the manager just so he can check on me, just in case. I think if I manage this time, I'm ready for the Himalayas. I did it! Oh my god, my heart is like pumping. Oh, that was so scary. All right, I did it. I feel really excited right now that I managed to bring the bike all the way down to the guest house. And I guess that means that I'm prepared for the north. So maybe one day in the near future I can go somewhere to, I don't know, Ladakh or Leh or something like this. I heard it's really beautiful there. Many people have recommended me to visit Ladakh. But for now I'm gonna focus on what I'm doing at the moment. So tomorrow I'm gonna drive to Cochin. I'm gonna stay in a Ayurveda resort where I stayed a few years ago, where I hosted my own yoga retreat. I just want to visit the people who live there and the staff and the owner of the place. And the next day I'll drive to Varkala. All right, let's see. Oh, and by the way, this is my room where I stayed last night. As you can see, it's not bad at all. And the best thing is the view. So I have a little terrace here. What do you think? Now I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna relax for a little while, and I think I'm gonna sit here, maybe on the terrace. I'm gonna do my pranayama practice. I'm gonna breathe for 1 hour, and then maybe go for dinner, and then just prepare for tomorrow. And the next day, one more time, I had to do that uphill ride, but this time I was feeling much more comfortable, even though I was riding now with my backpacks. I left at 6:30 a.m. on my way to Cochin. Cochin? This way.
You have to get in and just put what review in the federation, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. How you go, cool? But now I'm having some doubts about my trip. My idea was to stay in Varkala for a whole month, maybe 2 months, maybe even more. I just wanted to go to the beach and surf a little bit. But now after making this trip from Mysore to Ooty, from Ooty to Munnar, and from Munnar here to Cochin, I just feel like keep going, you know, I don't want to stop anymore. I want to take the bike and continue riding. I'm trying to find the walk that I used to do years ago. It was a really nice walk and that ended in some rice fields. Maybe it's this way. If I go to Varkala, my intention was just to stay there, settle down for a month there, continue with my practice, maybe resume my online teaching. So now I have this predicament. I'm not sure what to do, and I don't even know where I would like to travel at the moment. I think this is the walk that I did, but everything looks so different now. Yeah, so this is the place. I used to come here and sit somewhere over here, but there was a lot more trees before. I think they started some construction works here. You have to put it on the fire and then you open and then you have cashew.
Yes, I'll give you later.
Thank you, Goku. So how did he made it?
When the kitchen is opened with the firewood, we'll keep it inside. After some time, we will take it out. Then that is being broken and the nut will be so tasty.
The owner of the resort, he was very welcoming and he offered me to stay as long as I wanted. But I decided to stay just for one night because I wanted to reach Varkala as soon as possible. Once more, the next day at 6:30 a.m. I left for my final destination, Varkala. But the ride from Cochin to Varkala was not very pleasant. Although I left at 6:30 a.m., the traffic was horrible. There were big, heavy trucks and buses driving at high speed, and it was all very chaotic. That was 3 intense hours on the road. Wow, I didn't like that highway at all. The traffic, it was crazy. Now I'm gonna take a little break and I'm very close to Amma's ashram. I'm gonna see if I can meet my friend Jacob, who he's living here for a long time. Maybe he's gonna be available to have a little talk. Let's see. Namaste, Amma's ashram? Ashram. 2 kilometers. Thank you. Namaste. Ashram. Ashram. Amma ashram. Amrita Puri. Ashram. 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 Okay, thank you. Namaste. Ashram is here?
I'm not allowed to outside.
Yes, I know. I'm looking for Jacob.
Huh?
Jacob.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, I cannot meet my friend. I had no way to reach him and they won't allow me in the ashram, which of course I knew that I was not allowed to enter the ashram, but it's okay. I will continue to Varkala, but I still have 2 more hours to go, so... After riding for 700 kilometers, I had to stop by a mechanic. I needed to fix my back brakes and also change the oil. Honestly, when the mechanic was test riding the motorcycle, I wasn't sure if I was gonna see him again or not. And later on, I realized that he was completely drunk. But I think he did a pretty good job. In the next 45 minutes, I reached Varkala without any issues. And this is where I am at the moment. This is Varkala. My guest house is somewhere behind those trees. I've been here already for about 10 days, maybe more, maybe 15 days. I'm not so sure anymore. So is it possible to surf in Varkala? Yes, it is. So this is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to come to the beach, find a place to surf, but at the same time I feel that the road trip stopped all of a sudden. I feel that the adventure stopped too quick. So a part of me wants to keep surfing, but a part of me also wants to keep riding. So I'm not so sure how long I'm gonna stay in Varkala. Alright guys, that's it for today. See you in the next one.